Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Magic Duels. So for today's deck tech, we're going to be looking at a red-white aggressive allies deck. Now, I've done an allies deck before, but I splashed in the green and kind of regretted it. Mostly because at the time, I was kind of limited on the cards I had and felt like I needed to splash in the green to make the deck complete. But now that I have all the cards unlocked, I actually feel as though allies are probably stronger as either like red-white or white-black, something like that, or white-black with the green splashed in for the life gain. So I've decided to kind of reshape the deck and make it into a very, very aggressive red-white deck. So to start off with, we've got the Cliffside Lookout as the 1-drop. Nice early game 1-drop, which you can plonk down and then start buffing it up with things like Core Blade Whirls and Lantern Scouts and things like that. It's also good in the late game with the 5 mana creatures you control gain +1/+1 until end of turn as well. One of our turn 2 drops is the Core Blade Whirl, so this is a nice creature where it's Rally ability, which gives our allies and other creatures first strike. Then got the Reckless Cohort, so this is just a nice just a standard ally. It's come down as a 2/2. It has to attack each turn if able, but you're always likely to have another ally to prevent it from doing so. So it's basically just there as like a bulking out the deck and just providing another ally to trigger the ally abilities, and also just a nice body as well. Lantern Scout is our first 3-drop, and its rally ability is able to give our creatures lifelink until end of turn, so good for replenishing our life and just keeping us in the game much longer. Then got McKinley Patrol, so the other 3-drop, which gives our creatures vigilance until end of turn whenever it drops or another ally drops, so that's quite nice. Got Fire Mantle Mage, so another 3-drop. This creature's ability gives all of our creatures Menace, which is kind of amazing. So basically, only creatures can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures, so you can push through a lot of damage if an opponent only has 1 creature on the battlefield. Got a couple of Kythian's Tactics, so we're likely to get a lot of allies down with this deck, and we want to be able to swing for a large amount of damage, and Kythian's Tactics is going to allow us to do so. Chasm Guide, with its rally ability, gives our creatures haste, that's what I'm looking for. Undo Champions starting to get expensive at 4, so these are starting to get a little bit expensive at 4 mana, but well worth it. So this one gives all of our allies trample, which is kind of amazing. So if we can drop something like a Kythian's Tactics and an Undo Champion on the same turn, not very likely, but also there's the possibility of something like dropping a Valorant Akros and an Undo Champion in the same turn. Or say for example we already have Valorant Akros down, we can drop Undo Champion, pump up all our creatures, and then swing for a lot of trample damage. But the pièce de résistance of this deck is Munda Ambush Leader, so providing you can get this guy down, you've pretty much got unlimited amounts of allies. So you can drop this down on turn 4. His rally ability activates, which allows us to look at the top 4 cards of our deck, choose any allies among them, and put them on top of our library. So we are guaranteed an ally almost every single turn with Munda Ambush Leader, providing it can stick, which at 3/4 body is very likely to do so. Only very few removals are able to get rid of this. Blanguish is one of the few mass removals. Exquisite Firecraft is probably one of the few hard removals. So if you can get this guy down, you can start filling up the board with allies very, very quickly. We've got Valorant Akros, so you can play this enchantment on turn 4, and then any creatures you play from then on, buff up every other creature by +1/+1 until end of turn. Got a couple of Retreat to Amirius, so we can either use this one to trigger the rally abilities by putting a core ally creature on the battlefield, or by giving our creatures +1/+1 as well. Got Unified Front, only puts 2 allies down on the battlefield, but it's just nice to kind of replenish any allies, trigger some rally abilities, and also trigger Valorant Akros a couple of times as well. Gideon, another basically one of the best cards in this deck, and probably one of the best cards in the game right now. Dropping this Planeswalker allows us to summon an ally every turn, allows us to swing with a 5/5, or allows us to swing with a 5/5 human soldier ally creature every turn, or give us an emblem which gives all our creatures +1/+1. In terms of late game, we've got a Hero of Goma Fade, so fairly expensive at 5 mana at this point, but its rally allows us to give all of our creatures indestructible end of turn, so you can basically drop this, swing with everything we've got, and we don't have to worry about any of our creatures dying. And then finally we've got Core Entanglers, so you can drop this and use it to tap opponents' creatures, so you can tap down big blockers, stuff like that. In terms of the mana base, we've got 7 plains, 5 mountains, the 2 cliff retreats, and then the 4 looming spires and the 4 sandstone bridges. So that gives us 22 mana total. So that is the deck. Let's go play some games, guys. Okay guys, here we are for game number 1. So I think we're playing a rank 11. I'll double check his name in a second, but we cannot keep that first hand as much as I'd like to, as it had the... what's what I'm looking for? I'm actually going to keep this hand though. We might have to waste the Sandstone Bridge just to get the white mana out early on. We are playing the rank 11 Nagisir. Or Nagsir, I suppose. Is he playing green-black elves, maybe? Yeah, we're going to have to play out the Sandstone Bridge. I don't want to, but if we want to get our Cliffside Lookouts and our Cold Blade Worlds down, we're going to have to. So, yeah, we might want to play Reckless Cohort this turn, then Cold Blade Well, and then start dropping the Cliffside Lookouts after that. We're going to be hoping to draw into a third mana to play Lantern Scout as soon as possible. Okay, Infernal Scarring. So enchanted creature gets +2/0 and has whenever this creature dies, draw a card. Okay. So we probably want to deal with this one as fast as possible, ideally. So maybe we want to drop like a Reckless Cohort, play it and use it as a chump blocker, maybe? Mana? Ooh, very nice. We've got a Clifftop Retreat. So we don't want to play that out yet, as this doesn't count as a plane. So we want to play Clifftop Retreat next turn, as we know it won't come in tap now, thanks to the mountain, which is quite nice. Okay, so yeah, we might want to use this as a chump blocker just to destroy the Stormbow Archer, depending on what else he's got. I mean, he might have... Okay, he's played Elemental Bond, so... Yeah, does he want to swing with this one? So we'll just kill it. I'm quite happy to do so. He decided not to do that, however, which is good for us. Okay, we have got a 4th mana, which is excellent. We could either play Lantern Scout or Core Bladewell. I'm under the inclination to play Core Bladewell, however, just because it's going to allow us to potentially push through 2 damage here. We can even play Cliffside Lookout, just as a chump blocker maybe, although I'm loath to do that, really, just because. So we can swing with the 2/2 First Striker, and he's not going to block that, for obvious reasons. So I might have to let this 3 damage go. No, I'm gonna play this as a chump blocker. I don't really care about one of these Cliffside Lookouts, so play as a chump blocker. I mean, it triggers the ally rally abilities again, but I don't really care too much for that. See what he does this turn. Okay, so he's played Deathbridge Shaman. Interesting. That's going to trigger Elemental Bond, which is going to allow him to draw a card. Now, is he going to swing? No, he's not. Okay, that works for me. So we will play the Plains out. And do I play Ondu Champion or do I play Lantern Scout? I don't think Lantern Scout is entirely necessary here, but Ondu Champion... Or do I play Lantern Scout and then play Ondu Champion next turn, maybe? I think we're going to play the Lantern Scout just because it's going to give our creatures first strike, which is quite nice. Might just swing with these 2. Because this one's going to get killed by this one, so I would rather just swing with the 2 creatures that's going to kill either of these 2. So we're swinging with both of you. So we're in a really good place right now. We've got lots of... We just need 1 more mana to play our hero of Goma Fade. Is he going to block either of these? He is going to block that one, so that's going to kill it. We are going to get the lifelink, however, which is good for us. We do have to discard a card, and I'm just going to get rid of the 2nd Cliffside Lookout, so it's a good job I didn't play that out, just because it allowed me to just discard it as a superfluous creature there. We do have a blocker, we do have a chump blocker for this 3/2 as well, if we decide to do that. Okay, so we've played out 2nd Thornbow Archer, and he's also played out a Jagged Scar Archer. It's a little bit terrifying, but I think we should be alright. So he didn't do anything there. Okay, so we've got the Plains here. So I think this is probably a good time for Hero of Goma Fade, just because it's going to give all of our creatures indestructible at this point. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. There we go. We can then swing with all of our big creatures, I think. Do we swing with everything? Why not? We'll just go for it here. I mean, we've got Ondu Champion to come down next turn, so we may as well kind of swing for the fences here. Everything's got lifelink as well, so we're in a really good place here. It's not as though we're pushed for mana. This is going to give us a lot of life, and I don't really mind taking the hit because of this. So yeah, all these are indestructible. So as you can see, they're not dying, and we're up to 28 health here. So yeah, we've basically got almost everything we want here. The only thing that we should make this any better would be like a Gideon or something like that, or like a Munda ambush leader would be kind of crazy too. Board wipe would set us back quite heavily. If he's got a languish, which I'm now really worried about. Which is kind of terrifying. I've just realised languish could be potentially devastating at this point. I mean, it would set him back 2, but so like I said, I don't mind him swinging, honestly, because we're gonna get McKinley Patrol. So I'm inclined to play this one first, just because it gives all of our creatures vigilance, and we'll save the Ondu Champion for maybe next turn when we've got all of these creatures down. So, like I said, we're still in a really good place. Everything gets indestructible. Everything gets vigilance as well now. So we're just going to keep going for these huge swings. We're going to go wide here because I think that's our only option. And he's been replaced by AI. So that implies that he doesn't actually have languish. And we actually won. So, fair enough. And let's move on to game number 2, guys. Okay, guys. Here we are for game number 2. So I'll double check who we're playing in a second, as I was like looking at it going, but we're going to keep that hand. It's not a bad opening hand. We've got Kythian's Tactics and 2 Reckless Cohorts, so all we really need to do is just draw into any kind of subsequent ally, and we should be laughing all the way to the bank. Because basically, if we've got the 2 Reckless Cohorts down, they won't have to swing on their own. We're playing Meeting 058, a rank 19, so back up to rank 22, which is quite nice. So I'm going to push for 30 with this deck, I think. We've got plenty of time to play over the weekend, so we're going to play out a Reckless Cohort. Probably play out Sandstone Bridge next turn, just because it's going to allow us to actually trade with the Jaddy Offshoot quite favourably. I mean, obviously we're not going to trade with it. I'm going to be able to kill it, so he'll probably let the 3 damage go through in that case, which works for me. So yeah, all we really want now is to just draw into allies. Like a Munda would be almost perfect at this point. Okay, looks like we might be playing like Simic Ramp maybe. We've got Jaddy Offshoot, we've got Green-Blue. I know Simic Ramp is a thing at the moment, so have to see how it plays out. But we want to maintain our aggression if we can. Excellent, we found a Cliffside Lookout, which could be useful later on, but we're going to Sandstone Bridge you. And then play the Reckless Cohort. So we want to save Kythian's Tactics for maybe when we've got the 3 creatures down. Would be quite nice. So he's going to block with the Gate Creeper Vine, rather than the Jaddy Offshoot. So we just want to kind of like be as aggressive as possible here. We've got potentially 3 good creatures coming down with the Cliffside Lookout in 2 turns time, able to pump these 2 up to 3/3s every turn. Okay, so we played Jesse and Thief. Interesting. So we're going to get this turn. Please something good. Munda would be fantastic right about now. Okay, McKinley Patrol also works for me. So we'll play you. And do we play the McKinley Patrol and the Cliffside Lookout? Do I bother swinging with these? That is the question. I mean, I could play both of these out, and then we've got Kythian's Tactics next turn. Or do I save the Cliffside Lookout and play that with Kythian's Tactics next turn, so we activate the Rally ability? I think that's a viable strategy, actually. So we're going to save the Cliffside Lookout for this turn, play that and Kythian's Tactics next turn, and then we can then use Cliffside Lookout from then on to kind of +1/+1 all of our creatures, which is kind of nice. I wouldn't mind a Gideon as like a passive ability to generate allies as well, so we can just basically just use Cliffside Lookout to pump up all of our creatures every turn. But let's see what happens this turn. So we could swing for like a massive amount of damage this turn, depending on what he decides he wants to do. Okay, so he's played no mana yet, which may tell me that he's mana screwed. Okay, this guy's mana screwed, which is excellent for us, as we're just going to lay on the beat down now. Okay, so we're going to drop the Cliffside Lookout. I'm going to play out the Sandstone. No, do we need to play out the Sandstone? We don't really need to play out the Sandstone Bridge, I'm going to be honest. So we'll play out the Plains, just to be on the safe side. And then I think we're just going to Kythian's Tactics here. Has he got a counter? He has a counter. Interesting. So that's going to get pumped up to a 2/4. Interesting. So let's skip attack then, because this is dangerous. I'd rather not lose any of these for any reason. Hopefully that wasn't the mana. Okay, so he's found Nissa, which basically does allow him to mana fix. So he's going to find that crucial 4th mana that he needed. And he's going to trigger the Jaddy offshoot. Don't really care too much for that. Hope we can find something good here. Either a decent ally or I don't know. Mana is fairly useless, so we're just going to trigger Cliffside Lookout's ability, which is going to allow us to swing with everything here, especially if we trigger the Sandstone Bridge on this as well. We're just going to swing with all of these, like so. So he's either got to take 12 damage here or start blocking. And I can do this almost every turn thanks to the Cliffside Lookout. So yeah, Scat to the Winds was pretty brutal there, I'm going to be honest. We decided to take the 12 damage. Okay. That will allow him to swing through the Jessian Thief, which... do I allow him to draw the card? That is the question. I mean, he could find the 5th mana that he's possibly looking for. Okay, so he's going to Monvuli Acid Moss, which I don't care. So that's going to go up to a 2/4. So, if he swings with it, I'm gonna let it go through, I think, because I don't really want to lose my Cliffside Lookout, I'm going to be honest. So yeah, he's going to swing through, which is fine. So we'll skip the blocking. We're just going to swing big next turn again. I mean, he draws a card, but he can't play it, so it's fine by me. Be nice if we found something good here. Ooh, Core Entanglers. That is very useful. So, do I tap something down and then swing? Or do I pump up all my creatures? That is a question. This is a tough choice. I mean, I could swing big here. But I quite like the idea of the Core Entanglers being able to tap down creatures. So I could tap down, say for example, the Jaddy Offshoot. And then possibly force him to block with Nissa. So all of these get, what's the one I'm looking for? They all get Vigilance as well, which is awesome. So I can swing with all of you, with you three basically, and they all trade fairly favourably with Nissa. I mean, if he blocks one of the Reckless cohorts, that's a good trade in my opinion. So we either swing for 6 or swing for 4, and we're swinging for 6. There we go. Excellent. We'll save open the plains just in case he make him think like we've got something useful for next turn. I don't know what he might think it might be. He could think it's like another Kaitlyn's Tactics, anything like that really. A Gideon. Gideon would be awesome, I'm going to be honest. If I top decked a Gideon, I would actually just smile a lot. So he's 1 mana away from being able to flip Nissa, but that doesn't bother me at all. Just want to see what he does now. We've got a huge swinger coming next turn. We're potentially pushing through 4 damage at the very least, I think. Yeah, at least, no, 5 damage at the very least, because he would have to block, say, for example, these 3 or these 3, something like that. It was 1, 2, 3. So either probably 1, 2, 3, and then we'd have 3, 5 damage being pushed through, thanks to the Cliffside Lookout. Just wondering what my opponent is going to do now. Taking his time, that's what he's doing now, apparently. Come on, Mr. Meeting 058. We haven't got all day. He's got like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand, and he can't decide what to do. I mean, he's playing green-blue, so I'm not worried about sweepers. I'm just trying to think if there's any... The only kind of like sweeper, like inverted commas, in blue or green would be... what's it called? Displacement Wave. Okay, so he's found From Beyond. Interesting. So that's going to allow him to ramp up, and it's going to allow him to find, for example, Ulamog, if he's got Ulamog, that is. So he needs to work fast, like really fast, to actually kind of push the rest of this damage through. I think almost something like... what's the one that allows me to summon my tokens? Something like... Yeah, the one that allows me to summon 2 tokens would be perfect. So I could tap down 2 of his creatures, and then that would probably be lethal, because we'd push through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the thing that allows me to tap down 2 creatures would be fantastic right about now. So we decided not to swing. Something good, something good, something good. mana. Oh, fantastic. I've got 22 mana in the deck, and all I do is top deck it. So we're just obviously going to pump up all of our creatures here, and then swing big. Just because we need to. We need to keep up the aggression. Oh, I shouldn't have swung with Cliffside Lookout here. I've just realised that's going to... Well, he'd have to trade away Nissa, which would be bad for him. So he's going to block the 4/5, which is obvious. But if he blocks the 2/2, I think he's basically down to 1 health, which is very, very tricky for him. And he loses the potential to flip Nissa as well. So he's going to block the 3/4. And does he either block the 3/3 or the 2/2? Or does he... Because this is still... Yeah, he blocks the 3/3. So he loses Nissa. Loses all of his creatures. We keep our Cliffside Lookout as well. There's a calculated risk there, and I almost made a horrible mistake. We'll keep both of these cards open to make him think like we're saving something or something like that. Maybe make him think that we've got something up our sleeve. I don't know. So he could sacrifice this and find Ulamog, which I'm assuming might be in his deck. Okay, he's found Willbreaker, which at this stage in the game isn't particularly fantastic unless he's got some way of like bouncing one of my creatures here. But he's only got 1 mana open, so I don't really think there's anything he can do to target my creatures which would allow him to... Okay, why did he sacrifice that? And he's been replaced by the AI because he's realised he's actually dead. I was going to say, Willbreaker is like a completely dead card at this stage in the game, but whatever. Found Cliffside Lookout, which we could then play out, you know, both these. This is the AI, so we're just basically... oh yeah, we can tap down Willbreaker as well, because why not? There we go, and then we can just pump all of our creatures, you know, just because I'm having a bit of fun at this point. And then just swing for everything. So yeah, very nice indeed. So 2 really good matches I've quite enjoyed. So awesome fun. There we go. So nice win under our belt. Nice 2 wins under our belt, I should say. Starting to amass a nice stockpile of gold as well, back up to rank 23. So yeah, I'm going to leave the episode here for now. As always guys, don't forget to comment and like if you enjoyed the episode. If you're new to the channel, it's always nice to see you hit subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.